guys, it's Robin, RsIslandCrafts, and this is Talk to Me Tuesday for Tuesday, March 12th, 2019. I feel like it might be a little crooked today, so I'm sorry if I am. I've adjusted it a few times, but you know, one of those things, the more you adjust something, the worse it seems to get. Just watch me like this and you'll be okay. So if you watched my Talk to Me Tuesday last week, you know that I did 2 baby quilts last week so that I can spend some time this weekend working on string blocks and getting a few things done and caught up so I can put more videos up on YouTube. So I did manage to get a bunch done. I did 16 of them on Saturday, and I have a few extra ones in here from previous days, so it's been kind of nice. My only problem with my string blocks are, now I run out of, these are 6.5 inch blocks. Half of them, or whatever, I did black down the center. Then I did a bunch where I just put all kinds of random strips on it. But what I'm running into now is I need at least about a 10.5 inch strip to go down the center. And then probably, what, a 7 or something to go down each side. These longer strips I'm running out of. I like to save the longer strips for the centers and the 2 columns that go on, the 2 strings that go on each side of it. And then I use the small ones for the ends because it's like saving fabric even though you're working with scraps. So I'm going to have to go through my scrap bins and see if I can find some more longer pieces. Like when you cut off the edge of a quilt, when you trim up the backs and stuff like that. See if I have some of that because I am now running out. Now I don't mind piecing strips together and putting 2 in there, but a lot of times when I'm just doing a 6.5 inch block, I'd rather just have 1 long strip. Now for the 12.5 and 15.5 and all that, I don't mind piecing it together because you're going to see it more than you will in a small little one. So that was my Saturday afternoon. That was all my sewing I did so far this weekend, so that was really nice. It was very, very relaxing. So I thought I would show you the shawl that I finally finished because you'll be able to see it more this way than you will on Whip It Wednesday. This shawl, it was enjoyable in the beginning, but then it was just knit, 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 and it was just getting heavy in my lap, and it was getting longer and longer and bigger, and I think it was more frustrating because I ran out of the gray and I had to buy more gray, and then I ran out of the pink, but I didn't want to go buy any more pink because I was tired of knitting on this shawl, and it's big enough that it's going to be fine. But this is the Beach Bum shawl, and I made this as a gift for a friend, and it's going to go across your back really nice. And still, it's acrylic yarn. You can block acrylic, so I haven't done that yet. I haven't given it a wash or anything, but as you can see, it still has a lot of stretch to it, so I will be able to stretch it out a little bit and give a little bit more length and just kind of open up some of the little bit of lace that's in here. There's not much lace, there's just very little. The bottom has a feather and fan design to it. See, it has that nice little wave going through. You just have to ignore my yarn strings because I just finished this yesterday. I have not woven in the ends or done anything else with it, but it has that nice little wave. A little bit of lace going into it, more like eyelets than anything else. Anytime you put a hole in your knitting, they call it lace, but you know. So it wraps around really nice. It's a nice size shawl. It's a really large, oversized shawl. So as you can see, right now it goes to about here, probably about mid-bum range. I'm not sure what words we're allowed to say on YouTube anymore. But if I stretch it down, it goes down past my seat. And I still have plenty on my arms. So this is going to be a nice toasty warm shawl for my friend. I think she's going to love it. I don't think she knows it's coming. We talked about it. She picked out her colors, but it's been a few months since I mentioned it to her, so I'm sure it's going to be a surprise. So that was my big finish for the week. I did get a little bit, while sitting at the Cancer Center with Rob, with really, I have craft projects to work on, but I've been bored lately. So I've been kind of causing a little bit of trouble. I've been ordering from Amazon because when you're sitting there and you're just surfing on the web and ideas come to your mind, so you just do a little Amazon shopping, right? I got 3 yards of this gray and white from Joann's. This is going to be for the little diaper shirts for the preemies. I showed this to Rob, and he didn't say, ooh, that's too girly, so I'm going to use this for all of them, boys and girls, gender neutral. This is going to be on the inside of the shirts, because you put a flannel on the inside and then a cotton on the outside. And I thought a nice light gray with the white accents. I thought this would be fine. And then I can pair anything on the outside. I can do holiday shirts. I can just do fun novelty fabrics, solid colors if I want. I don't know if it has a top or bottom. It's probably this way, but I don't think it really matters. It's like when you have, this looks upside down, but then this looks right side up. So I don't think it really matters which way you do it. Maybe I'll just make them all this way and we'll split the difference, right? That's definitely sideways. And I also have a little funny haha for you guys. While doing all the ordering, I've been wanting to make little stitch markers for my knitting. So you put a stitch marker in, so you know, like every 10 stitches you could put a stitch marker. So if you have to do something special, you mark your place in your pattern and while you're doing your knitting. So I finally ordered, I needed some tiger wire. So I finally ordered this rainbow tiger wire from Amazon, right? It's going to come shipped from Amazon. I'm going to have it in 2 days. It's great. Package comes on Saturday. I pull the envelope out of the mailbox and I'm like, this is awfully light and awfully flat for spools of wire. They're like, they're round discs. They're probably about an inch or so tall, and they have rainbow wire around it. So I got like red and yellow and green, you know, rainbow. So I'm like, Amazon sent me an empty package. Thank you, Amazon. I appreciate it. Are you trying to tell me that I've been shopping a little bit too much and that I should cut back? So I had to contact Amazon yesterday. Well, I contacted the seller, but the seller's like, this is drop shipped from Amazon, so I have to go through Amazon, whatever, just to get my little spools of wire, because I have these little plastic stitch markers that you can hang, but they tend to be wide, and this wire is a very thin wire, 0.5, 0.05, 0.3 millimeter, I don't know, but it's really, really fine wire, kind of like fishing wire, but kind of like fishing line, but it's a wire. And then you can dangle little beads from it for decoration, so it's kind of fun. So I want to make some of those for my knitting because it's just going to work so much better than the big chunky things. Sometimes the chunky ones, they'll slide underneath stitches and then they're too wide and they make gaps in your knitting, and it kind of, your knitting will remember that gap. Instead of all your stitches being tight together, you'll have 10 tight and then you'll have this little gap. So I really wanted to make these this week. Nope, no wire. That's okay, I don't mind. I know Amazon's really good and they'll take care of it. I think this week coming up is an off week for us with all the medical stuff. We do have a couple of appointments, but I don't think we have that full chemo day this week because we do 3 weeks on and 1 week off. So we'll see, but I'm hoping to get some extra sewing time because I want to start working on these shirts, and I want to get another quilt made for the babies for this week, and there's just, I have a list. I want to get some things done. And now that I finished this shawl, I can go ahead and cast another one on that I can knit and knit and knit and then complain about, right? I think just what this shawl was is that it was just a lot of knitting and there wasn't anything to break it up. A lot of times when you're doing a shawl, you'll knit back and forth for like 25, 30 rows, and then you'll do something fun. And they'll give you a little strip of something fun. And then you'll go ahead and knit for another 25 or 50 rows, and then you get something fun. Well, this shawl had nothing fun. It had these chunks every now and then. You do a little eyelet, and then, but the space in between the eyelets got more and more as you got going. So like you had an eyelet here, and then here, but then you had to go all the way down to here before you got another one. And this is where I got lost. This is where it took really a long time to do it. But I love the way it turned out, and I think my friend's going to love it too. And if not, she can just pass it on to one of her friends. That's one of the good things. If you give a gift like this, I have no problem if I make you something and you say, it's not really for me, I'm going to pass it on to a friend. As long as somebody's going to love it, I am fine with it. But it's nice and soft, Caron Simply Soft. And before I start rambling on anymore, I'm going to say thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next week. Bye!